Men find the most attractive qualities being feminine qualities like nurturing, caring, supportive, joyous, intimate, affectionate, pleasant, pretty. All the standard sort of feminine, lovely qualities. If you need help, book on a call. I'm here to help, guys. You guys can achieve a 10 out of 10. Just gotta learn how to do it the right way.
Yeah, he wanna hang with a bitch. He wanna hang with a bitch. Yeah, he wanna hang with a bitch. He wanna hang with a bitch. Yeah, he wanna hang with a bitch. He wanna hang with a bitch. Baby, let's chill and get fried. Yeah.
You know what the problem is? You just don't like a man that treats you well. No woman does.
That is not true.
Sure it is. Sure, you would rather have a man that gives you a hard time than gives you flowers.
I like flowers. I just don't want my office to look like some right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The man does a good thing and you turn it into a funeral. You know, you women obviously must have self-esteem issues. You don't feel like you're worthy of a good man.
So you gonna give it up to all the other men, but you gonna make your fiance wait? Yes. Why you think he my fiance? Because he doesn't guilt trip me. He doesn't cross my boundaries. He has self-control.
You know, one thing, or, you know, one of the things that's going to get a man to check out extremely quickly is when you start moving the goalpost and talking about all of the things that you can do, but he can't do, and all of those foolish standards that you got going on. No, I'm gone.
The Lord is breaking off of you the fear of rejection. Well, what if I step out and they reject me? You've already been accepted in the beloved. It is, listen to me, you are among a very rare breed of people who it is impossible to actually be rejected. It's literally impossible for you to be rejected by anyone who holds any real weight, because the one who holds all the weight has accepted you.
I will say this again and again. Marry a sensitive man. Marry a man who understands your needs. You know, this whole, I mean, if he's handsome with it, wow, good on you, you know, good life. But I'm just saying, in the long run, marry somebody who understands your needs. There was one moment, we were in Bombay, and this was the time when I had gone to see him. My mother was with me, and there was a little raindrop. You know, it was raining in Bombay. There was a little drop which kind of fell on my face, and I remember Ajay immediately took out his handkerchief and gave it to me. And my mother came back and said, I am telling you. It seemed such a romantic moment even at that time. But my mom came back and said, you know what? This is what we want. We want a sensitive man. We want somebody who really, really looks after you. And it was a small thing, but it was significant.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I've spent an entire lifetime trying to be everything to everyone, and somehow somebody is always disappointed.
Let me give you Leah Miller's secret to life. Don't give a about anybody. Because once you ask yourself the question, what about me? Everything changes for the better. I mean, after all, who are you? What do you want, Mary?
A lot of these men try to be gentlemen. They try to open the door. They try to be chivalrous. They try to be generous. But modern women don't really appreciate a man like that. And they want a man to wait around until they grow or develop an appreciation for him. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense to men at all.
Because I got 6.
God, to the left.
Why?
I mean, I ain't trying to deal with that.
You ain't got to deal with that. I take care of mine.
You got 6 kids.
Yes, and I take care of mine. You ain't got to take care of mine.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I'm still good.
So to the left?
Yeah.
Tú estás loco. Por cojones.
Don't do that. Turn me on, though, kid. I ain't gonna lie. Come on, get up out of here. Get up.
No,
come on, baby.
To the right. To the right. It ain't to the left. To the right. To the right.
Security. Get out.
I can't stand with
Me in my DM talking about something like, you're the most beautiful star in the galaxy. You're the only star I can see. You're so bright in the sky. Nobody can see anything but you. Like, please, oh my gosh, please, when I say this, please shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Flight, check. Got on my bags, what's next? I'm on my way to Thailand. I'm on my way to Thailand. Passport, flex. I don't expect nothing less. I'm on my way to Thailand. I'm on my way to Thailand.
I think a lot of these men understand now that there's, really only one wrong read that you can have. You to go in the grocery store, read the situation wrong, even though they're selling oil, and the signs are pretty clear. No, they're not really, because one wrong read and you call me a creep. I don't have time for that.
Before a woman get ready to do something slick, they'll halfway tell on themselves. They'll tell you something to lower your guard. Let's say that your girl is gonna go cheat, right? She gonna go cheat with the guy she met at the bar. She'll throw herself under the bus and say, I'm going out to work with Sarah and a couple guys from the job, right? She'll make herself be in trouble for that while she over here doing this. Women do stuff like that. You'll probably be jealous or in your feelings and insecure about, her going to have a work party with guys. But all the while, that's just the smoke screen. She over here cheating.
Men have it so easy. Men have it so freaking easy. One, they don't bleed every month, okay? They don't go through literal psychosis 3 weeks out of the month, okay? Which that leaves 1 week that I'm a normal person. That probably goes for every girl. Issue number 2 is, honestly, I really think men have the pick of the litter. Look at the ratio of single pretty women to single pretty men, or like good looking men. Girls, men, okay? That's how it is. Anyway, that's just my thought of the day.
If men have it so easy, then why are 80% of suicides men? And now that ridiculousness is disproven, let's talk about how much of a blaring red flag it is for a woman to blame her literal psychosis on her monthly cycle. As many of you suspect, this is just another item that women can point to in order to not take accountability for their actions. Because hormones have an impact, but they do not control you. That's right, guys. I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth is that a lot of women are taking advantage of it, and they are exaggerating what is happening.
Modern women, if you really get your head right, you'll understand that you can be a man's greatest weakness or a man's greatest strength. A lot of y'all right now are the reason, a major reason that a man is unmotivated. And obviously he's got to, motivate himself and, at the end of the day, do his own thing. But he don't need people fighting against him that say they're supposed to be on his team.
Are you single out here?
Yeah, I'm single.
It's gonna work. Get this on camera.
Chill.
Ma'am, all right.
What's up?
Okay,
You gonna ask me out right now?
okay.
I mean, if you are, what's up?
I like your eyes.
I like your lips.
Okay. Hold on.
No, she's trying to She's trying to.
She's trying to be that one girl.
This is like the future wedding right now. What's up?
Ma'am.
Yeah, what's up?
I like you.
I like you.
You like me?
I like you, yeah. I like your chain.
Thank you.
What's up?
It's a dog tag. Hold up, ma'am.
They're pulling me away.
Do you want to hang out?
Yeah, when?
Can I get your number?
Yeah, 469 407.
People say, show me your friends and I will show you your future. But no one talks about how much that future affects your marriage. Who you let close to you shapes how you talk about your husband. It shapes what you tolerate, what you complain about, what you protect. If you are surrounded by women that constantly bash their marriages, who normalize disrespect, commitment like a joke, it will slowly start to feel normal to you too. But when you choose friends that value loyalty, growth, and family, it raises the standards how you show up as a wife. Strong marriages are not built in isolation. They are protected by boundaries, wisdom, and the people that you let influence your heart. Choose friends that speak life into your marriage, not ones that plant doubt and call it honesty.
A lot of men are seeing and understanding that the woman that they see on the profile isn't near the woman that they meet in real life. Or it can even be vice versa. The point is, The modern woman that you're seeing, that you're meeting, that you're coming face to face with is totally different from who she is around everybody else. And everybody else, she's, doing great, fantastic person, the life of the party. But once you get her alone, just you and her, she's a total nightmare.
Y'all gonna have to get used to sharing, because as of right now, it is 100 women to every one man. So either you gonna switch to the other side or you gonna do some sharing. Pick and choose. You were taught as a very young woman to share. They taught you in grade school to share. I don't know what's going on. If you can love more than one kid at a time, then a man can love more than one woman at a time.
So you say if you can love both parents.
If you can love both parents, if you can love an aunt and an uncle, a grandmother and a grandfather. Y'all don't like this?
So you saying sharing is caring?
I'm saying sharing is caring. I'm saying that it's 100 women. These are the numbers. And
Protect this ratchet queen. Marquettism is for the kids. Marquettism saves lives.
I'm struggling to get in and out with my 2-week-old baby, which also makes me 2 weeks postpartum, and the stroller. All 5 men just stood there and watched, and then eventually
They don't know you.
some kind soul from across the street who saw me going back for the second time because they forgot my vanilla syrup in my matcha came and held the door for me, and I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And he said, "You're welcome." And when he said "you're welcome," he had an Australian accent, which really checks out because of course he wasn't American.
Oh, that's because we told men, there's tons and tons of videos of women saying, "Don't approach me." And then women getting mad at men for holding the door open. "Oh, you don't think I'm capable of opening the door for myself?" You see constant videos of women making fun of men, putting men down constantly, wanting to be treated as an equal. When a man doesn't hold the door open for you, he's treating you as an equal. Maybe if we instead showed appreciation towards the things that we like, maybe men would consider doing stuff like that more often. For a lot of men here in the US, they know that doing certain things is incredibly risky. They could get yelled at, mocked, sometimes even have the police called on them. Plus, these men don't know you. They don't owe you anything. Men are not responsible for just jumping and doing things for you. Imagine if men had that mindset. "Oh, I didn't cook myself dinner. Why didn't a woman just show up and make me dinner?" Holy cow, that would be inappropriate to say. But it's okay to expect labor from men while simultaneously treating men like garbage in society. Okay.
And another thing you have to understand is that modern women, they keep on trying to make men feel guilty about backing up, about not helping, about protecting themselves, staying to themselves. That's a form of protection. Well, how come a man won't protect me? How come a man won't provide? How come a man is going his own way? Because you've showed that man that you're a bona fide problem. You've shown that man that you're not safe to be around. You've shown that man that you can't keep your mouth closed, especially when it matters. And I'm not about to put myself in danger. And what you're seeing a lot is a lot of these modern women are claiming that they're boss babes, they're strong, independent women. I'm a girl boss, all up and down my timeline, all up and down your timeline, all up and down social media. I'm this, I'm that. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. I'm a car with no brakes or whatever that says. I'm a skydiver. I sleep whatever it means. I don't know. The point is, I'm sure they're talking about being a boss babe. Great, you're empowered, you're a woman, you're fantastic, all of that stuff. Get your money. But the fact of the matter is, and statistics tell us that there's a lot of these modern women out there that are broke. They're in the group chat begging for money. Actually, they take it out of the group chat now. Now it's, I'm online begging for money. I'm looking for men who will just donate to me for no apparent reason. I have not given them any value. I'm not even their friend. I have not even so much as said hi to them. Send me $50.
I'm tempted just to ask you about, as you've aged, how has your evolution of seeing men and the dynamics in relationship evolved? Because there's just so many things that I think we are under the assumption of as younger individuals about what relationships are, about what success and beauty is. For example, I know so many women that fear getting older, and that see it as society places the kind of subjective worth of a man in his success in the world and a woman in her beauty, right? Or even appearance, more in the objectified sense. And as you age, that's seen to decrease for a woman. But I see you embrace the perspective that life can very much so just keep getting more beautiful, you know? That's, I think, a really important thing to remember for everybody that's listening.
This is true. This, and I keep looking and I keep looking. There's no amount of money that someone could pay me to go back even to 2 weeks ago, to a month ago, to 6 months ago. No way. A year ago. I think like the more we let go, the more we release, you know, and it's one of my spiritual practices. I formally do release work 3 times a week. And sometimes for more than an hour at a time, my releasing partner just laughs at me. Tell her what's going on. She just laughs and laughs and laughs, and it just all floats away. But something as simple, for example, as preferences. About 1.5 years ago, I realized how much I was driven by my preferences, and my preferences had preferences. And I just started releasing, having preferences, having my preferences be catered to, just let it go. I also, you know, I'm a girl. It's one of the first things I told Dan. I'm an extraordinary woman. I'm a human girl who makes courageous choices as many times a day as I can. And it's one of the things I love about him. I'm like, I'm having a human girl moment. Okay, what does your human girl need?
And I venture to say that a lot more men would kind of move out of the realm of being afraid of rejection if there wasn't, as they perceive it, teeth behind the rejection. Be mean. And can walk up to you and say, "Oh man, I really like your energy. I really like your aura, man. You just something about you, man. You're just magnetic." What? I was just saying that, you know, with the way that you act, seem like you're a fun time. Seem like you're a good person to hang out with. Was trying to see if you would like to go out to dinner. Oh, and just say that. I was. That's what I was saying to you, stupid. Stop acting silly. Stop acting like a loser. Stop trying. And that's the point. A lot of these modern women are trying to be offended. They're trying to be. They're trying to find ways to. You said I was what? I just said you was pretty. That's all. That's literally all I said. I said you look good. I said I liked your shoes. That's it. Man, I really like that dress on you, man. That looks nice, man. That blue is your color. Huh? You looking a little bit too hard. I mean, you're standing in front of me in the grocery line. So yes, I see you. Are you okay? Stop talking.
Women that are independent and are single are not single because they're ugly. They're not single because they cannot pull a man. No, they're single because they choose to. Because they're very smart women. They're very attractive women. They're very intelligent and independent women. They're very successful women. They know what they want and they know how to get it. But the thing that society has conditioned us to believe is that if we're single, it's because there's something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. We would rather be single than spend time or share our presence and our company with someone that doesn't value it. You know, people need to understand that. Women that are single nowadays are single by choice. They're not single because they cannot pull a man. We choose to be single. Now, the day that we want to be with you is because we like you. We want to be with you. Not because we necessarily need you, but because we want you in our lives. There's a difference.
And I think it really has come to a point to where, you know, women are starting to really see men missing in action. You know, where are the men at? You know, used to be in coffee shops, or they used to be over here. They used to be everywhere. Men used to be everywhere. It's just not the case anymore. right? You know, the reason that a lot of these modern women really noticed a man is because a man was in their face, right? And so when something is in your face, then you're more likely to say, oh, no, here's one over here, here's one over there. You know what I mean? Like, say, for instance, one thing that my wife says is like, man, you know, I never noticed, you know, the type of car that you drive until I got with you. And you'd be like, they're all over the place. I've noticed them. That's why I got one, because I noticed it all the time. But that's how people, you know, if I see something, then I'm focused in on it. I'm locked into it. When men used to talk to modern women, then they were like, oh, the men are everywhere. Man's over here, man's over there. I can get a man, you know, there's a man. You'll never have to worry about a man. But now that men are kind of pulling back, then they're like, where are the men at? Well, the men are still right where they've always been. They're right in front of your face. It's just, you don't notice them because they don't talk to you anymore.
So when I talk about femininity and masculinity online, I often say that the overarching elements of masculinity and femininity are transcendence and immanence, with masculinity being related to transcendence and femininity being related to immanence. And usually the next question I get is, okay, what's transcendence and what's immanence? And so just simply put, like in the most simple terms, transcendence would be being outside something, and immanence would be being within something. And so we can see how God has both, because he is outside of his creation, and he's also within us, right? He's closer than our breath. And so he has both these elements in him. But as male and female, we embody one or the other in a heightened way. So it's important to note that masculinity and femininity interpenetrate. Just because femininity carries immanence in a heightened way doesn't mean that it's non-existent in masculinity or vice versa.
Bring back men who yearn. I was on the phone with a guy today, and he's like, oh, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, I'm watching the newest season of Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. He goes, of course you do. I go, what is that supposed to mean? He goes, oh, you're the sentimental and romantic type. I'm like, and? He goes, you do realize that's all fantasy, right? Guys don't act like that. Bring back men who yearn. I want a sonnet written about me. I want a man so unsure about how to live with his feelings for me that he goes insane, that he says he has to travel to the furthest corners of the world to get away from me, and it still wouldn't be enough. I want the Pride and Prejudice. I want a hand.
Reason 7. He's experienced more peace without a woman. And fellas know this one's true. Most men have found more peace single than they ever had in a relationship. No drama, no arguing, no ego wars, just quiet, just order, just freedom. And here's the danger for modern women. Once a man gets a taste of that kind of peace, he doesn't chase noise anymore. He doesn't chase headaches. He doesn't chase chaos. Because once you've lived in peace, you start protecting it like it's a treasure. And the sad truth is, too many women don't bring peace. They bring problems. And older men would rather stay single forever than trade peace for problems.
Tell women all day long, if you bring me peace, that's just as good as this money.
But yeah, man.
Because I can't find that.
No.
I can't find peace. Peace? Like, you give me that, man, we good. Just be cool.
The sad reality is in today's modern world, all guys are really asking for is peace. And I hear this over and over. Most men are just in these toxic relationships and in these toxic problems and toxic marriages. And all they really want is a woman that they come home to and she doesn't yap and brings in peace. That's all what they're asking for. And for some reason, they have to negotiate that too. Sad world we're living in today.
Paying for you is not buying you. When a man pays, it's a gesture of chivalry. It's an act of care and not a transaction. This gesture values companionship over commerce. Think of it as a gift, freely given, not as a trade. A man paying the bill is a gesture of esteem. It's a sign of respect, not a claim of ownership. True elegance lies in understanding this. A woman's acceptance of such a gesture is not indebtedness, it's appreciation of the act. In a world where every interaction is measured, let's not confuse courtesy with commerce.
Most women nowadays like to talk about the fact that there are no good men left, but here's the truth, ladies. If you actually treated men with respect, if you actually listened to them, you obeyed them, you admired them, you acknowledged them, you made your man feel special, or you made men in general feel respected and special, they would treat you like queens. They would treat you exactly how you want and expect, and probably even better than that, and give you even more than you could have imagined. Because men reciprocate the effort that they're given. Men reciprocate how they're treated. If you're treating your man horribly, he's not going to treat you very well in return. And that is your fault. That's not his fault. If you want a man to treat you better, start treating them better.
If you're dating a guy and he brings out the little girl in you, the inner child in you, you're dating a real man. But if you're dating a guy and he brings out the motherly instincts in you, you're dating a grown boy. Now, if you're dating a guy and he brings out the masculinity in you, the toughness in you, you're dating a loser. Now, which one are you dating? Enjoy your day, Nat Nation. Bye.
All right, since so many people think it's so easy to meet someone the normal way, the natural way, in person, tell me where, as a single woman, am I going on a Friday night or whenever to meet the love of my life? All of these comments are coming from people who say that I need to get off dating apps, but I don't think it'll make a difference because the same guys that are on the dating apps are the same guys that are in public too. And on one of my previous videos, I got an overwhelming response from men saying that they won't approach women in public anymore because they don't want to be a creep. But again, everyone seems to think it is just so easy to just simply meet someone in person. So give me suggestions. Where am I going to find love? Let me know. And don't tell me to join a running club. I'm not doing that. I'm not running to find love.
Women often register their delusional relationship expectations as standards. But those ain't standards, baby. That's a fallacy, a fantasy wish list. Because you've never lived like that. But you want a man to come in and give you something that you have yet to give yourself. So don't talk to me about how grown you is and how your standards are if your bills ain't on auto pay. And your bills are on auto pay, that's a different level of adulting.
I gotta be on auto pay.
You doing that. You are different.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Your bills are on auto pay, you are different.
I don't even know.
You deserve those red bottoms. You deserve that Chanel purse because that is your standards. That we separated by auto pay.
Do women know that they are the problem for the most part?
That's the thing. Most of them do not.
They do
and in
not
fact,
know.
I will probably lose most of my female friends after hearing this interview. And I find, women, not only do they not realize it, they don't want to hear it. When I present this argument to women, you become the black sheep with women. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear at all that they have anything to do with their current state of singledom.
And why is that?
Well, a lot of it is because what they're taught. They're taught from a young age, and in these kind of bullcrap studies like gender studies and women's studies, no offense to someone who went through those programs, but, a lot of it is really just teaching you that the patriarchy is prevalent and it's bad, and, men are the oppressors and you are the oppressed. And so when you just get, taught that, indoctrinated with that, they don't want to hear any other way.
Man, at the end of the day, bro, if she not gonna fuck with you, bro, you gotta with that's with you at the end of the day. You forcing conversation, trying to force link-ups, trying to force dating and all that's doing is making her not like you, bro. Okay? The quicker you move on to the next woman and that woman appreciates you and loves you and wants to fuck with you, then the other woman that's on the is going to see that and she's going to try to come back and appreciate you and try to fuck with you and love you. But then it's late for the now. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue working on yourself, continue bettering yourself, and continue not giving a fuck about what thinks about you. Trust me, you'll never succeed in your life, in your dating life, in your career if you care about what the others' opinions of you matter. I'm telling you, bro, it don't matter. Okay? The more you don't give a fuck, the more you gonna win in this thing called life, bro. Trust me. If you want to become code and work with me one-on-one, man, comment the word below code, and I'll send you the link to the DM. Let's get it.
This is just me. I don't know if other girls feel this way, but the biggest turnoff for me is if a man gets really bothered by my rest and relaxation. If he gets very bothered by me being in my feminine energy and me just being playful, happy, and relaxed, if that bothers him, if that irritates him, that's a no for me. Also, if he like praises how hardworking I am or like how I'm so independent, like that's just a major turnoff for me. Because if a man is in my life should be easier, and I feel that way. Like if my life is gonna be harder with a man in the picture, I'm better off being single. I'm better off being because I'm living like a single woman. It's one thing if you're working because you genuinely enjoy it and it brings you peace and you want to make extra money and it genuinely brings you purpose versus having to work hard. There's a huge difference. That's the same man that's going to force you to clock into the job that you hate 9 months pregnant. Do you want to be with someone like that?
This is the number one reason why men do not respect you. Let's go. You don't know how to tell men that you really like? No. A lot of times when we come across a guy that we really are into, we get stuck on him and it gets really, really hard for us to tell him no. And that's why when he finally texts you back after 5 hours of going ghost, you always reply. If he calls you at 1 o'clock in the morning, you always answer. If he tells you to come over to his house last minute, you run your little tail right on over there. And respect women who have standards because they can feel it in your energy when they've got you. When there's no competition. They can feel it when they're not putting in any effort, they're being half, and yet they're still getting a whole lot of yeses out of you. That's why it's so important to keep your emotions in check when it comes to a guy that you really like. Because if it's a guy that you're kind of on the fence about, it's a lot easier to uphold your standards. But when it's a guy that we really, really like, it gets so much harder. Don't allow your standards and your boundaries to go out of the window because a guy that's really for you is not going to make you have to compromise your standards in the first place. And know the women on their roster that they can play with and the ones that they can't. So just because you like him, please do not make the mistake of being that man's yes woman.
For the first time in history, women are not marrying men for financial stability or survival. We are choosing solely based on character. And the result, we are all single. Yeah. Because it turns out finding a paycheck was easy. Finding character is nearly impossible. Back in the day, the bar was in. Men had 2 job requirements: don't die and provide. Boom, marriage done. But now women have their own careers. We have our own money. So we started asking for things like emotional intelligence and communication. And suddenly the population dropped to 0. Yeah. We asked for a man who can express a feeling without glitching, and the system crashed. The moment we prioritized personality over provision, the dating pool started looking like a clearance rack at 3 a.m. We told them, we'll handle the stability, you just show us who you are. And men everywhere started panicking because they realize they can't hide behind their wallets anymore. They actually have to be healed, decent human beings. That is why everyone is single. Yeah. Because the moment character entered the group chat, half the roster simply evaporated. So don't ask us why we are picky. Ask why the basic standard of being a good person was enough to empty the entire room.
Most men want this in a relationship, but they almost never say it out loud. They want physical closeness that's casual, not scheduled, lying together, touch that isn't rushed, showering together without it being a big moment, just comfort, just presence. They want peace when they come home, not silence, not cold distance, not tension waiting at the door, just calm energy that lets their nervous system finally breathe. They want intimacy that's regular, not negotiated, not begged for, not tracked like a scoreboard. Men want to feel desired, not like affection is a favor. They want playfulness without judgment, teasing, laughing, doing dumb things together, feeling chosen, not just needed, not loved only for what they provide, protect, or pay for. If this feels true so far, comment real. At the core, what most men want is simple but deep. They want to know you want them. Not just the stability, not just the effort, not just the role they play. When a man feels wanted, not tolerated, not managed, not used, he gives more without being asked. Because desire creates loyalty faster than obligation ever will. Follow for more relationship psychology men rarely say out loud.
You're the light, you're the night, you're the color of my blood. You're the cure, you're the pain, you're the only thing I want to touch. Never knew they could mean so much.
Unbelievable. These men are just garbage of society, and it's where our culture in our day is at. And women, you shouldn't put up with it. You never would. Men, you were designed to carry everything. My wife carries nothing. I'll carry everything to the car, at the airport. I have all the suitcases, everything. Give me your backpack. I am a burro going through there. And it isn't that she can't. It's that she shouldn't have to. That I was designed to make and show the world how valuable and how important she is. That my children are watching. She doesn't open a door. She doesn't carry in groceries. Doesn't care. When I'm around, you carry nothing. And man, that's the men we should be. But women, you need to learn to expect it. This is something that was expected 50 years ago. Women wouldn't put up with that. And so women, you're like, no, you need to carry that. I'm not carrying that. No. And you need to stop allowing it and stop allowing your men to be less than men that they are. But instead begin to expect it. But men, you need to step up. Stop allowing her to carry anything. Stop allowing her to open her own door when you're around. Stop allowing her to carry stuff down to the beach, but instead you be that man who says, put the weight of the world on my shoulders. I got it.
I believe in gender roles, and I know that's going to ruffle some feathers, but I believe in gender roles. I believe men have a specific role in a relationship, as do women. That does not mean men can't offer assistance in the kitchen or offer assistance with the kids or, doing anything that revolves around inside the house. I believe women have a specific role as well. I love seeing women as stay-at-home moms because, yes, you get to raise your babies. You get to raise your babies as your job, because anybody who has kids know that raising a baby or babies is a full-time job, and those women deserve the utmost respect. Gender roles are so important because we have steered so far past that. Nobody knows what their roles are anymore. And I see some of the women that follow me and I follow them, and I see them as stay-at-home moms. I see them as working moms. I see them as single moms. And I love that because a woman can take on any role and run with it, as can a man. But I think if us two came together and we went back to gender roles, but that's just me.
When somebody that you built a life with for years moves on with somebody that they just met, here's the psychological reason why it won't work. The faster somebody moves, the more pain that they're running from, right? It's like, why move so fast? To be honest, naturally speaking, most people will date each other for 2 months before they go exclusive. And most people date each other for at least 3 months on average before they say or feel I love you. And if you're witnessing anything really moving faster than that, it's suspicious. New relationships cannot replicate deep relationships where you have years of history and inside jokes and true connection. They're running off dopamine. And that has a shelf life to it. It lasts about 3 to 6 months tops. So long story short, they're numbing their grief with emotional intensity using the new person, and it forgoes any kind of real examination on, the true compatibility that's there. They're just getting floated by the body chemistry in the meantime, and eventually that's going to run out. So it's just a matter of time until reality hits. And it's important for you to not just say, oh, see, they have their new life partner. I guess I'm done for good. Because you need to understand these time windows so that way you can capitalize on them once the door goes back open. Now, if you want some help with this process, comment or DM the word Benny, sign up for a call with me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yo, regret be hitting so much harder when it's self-realized.
I was in college. I dated a very traditional Christian man who asked me at one point, how do you feel about after you graduated, we just immediately got married and you were a stay-at-home wife and you didn't have to work? I was honestly offended by that question because I was so passionate about this thing that I was getting a degree in that I was just so eager to enter the workforce and do this thing that I loved and get money for it. Fast forward to today, I've graduated, we broke up, I'm now working in the profession of the thing that I got a degree in, and I changed my mind. Aww. I changed my mind. I know. What the I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done.
That's how regret sounds, yo. It sounds like a whole bunch of Yo, shorty had it good. Get married right after graduation, become a stay-at-home wife, chilling. Homie's gonna take care of everything. Yo, that sounds traditional. That sounds like a soft, nice life. But no, that modern woman in her just couldn't help. She said she got offended. So she got mad at him and all that. Fast forward, she got her degree. Congratulations. Now you in the workforce. It's all self-inflicted. This is everything she said she wanted herself. Now she's working, paying bills. The life ain't soft. And homie probably found him somebody, married him somebody. And that chick is like, yo, shout out to you, shorty, for choosing that career. Because whoever he married got that soft life. Meanwhile, she's over here crying on the internet, sobbing on the internet, doing this. I don't know what that sounds like. That just sounds but she doing it. So ladies, before you regret, if you have the opportunity to live a soft life, mad shorties want this life, then you should take it and you should do it. Regret like this? Oof. I wish that on nobody.
You know, a lot of these modern women like to continue to treat men like a clown. Amusement. You know, why does a man approach me? There's a lot of risks involved in approaching. There's a lot of disrespect involved in approaching. It don't matter where you go, seemingly with these modern women nowadays, you get treated like you crossed some type of line and you done something wrong. Like you just, eliminated somebody. That's the way they treat you. They look at you like you're a criminal off bat. Let me ask you a question. Who would want to go through that? Which person? Even you. If you go up, like say for instance, if you're sitting in a restaurant and you go up to a waiter and you say, hey, we hadn't gotten our drinks yet. It'd be okay if, we haven't been able to order, haven't had anybody come to our table to even see what we wanted or greet us. If that whole staff turned around and looked at you like, what are you doing over here? You instantly leave a review and walk out of there and go find somewhere else to go. Don't go here. It's trash. The service was terrible. We got seated. Nobody. I was reading a post today or over just down the line. People said, oh, it's a trash place. The food is trash and the service was even worse. They're leaving reviews about it. And so now, even if I was thinking about going, I'm not going because you telling me the service is so bad. That's how you are as a modern woman. Nobody's approaching you because you're disrespectful. It is a risk to approach you. Now they're looking at you saying, man, if this woman is trash, if her attitude is trash, why would I even be over there?